Over the years, the National Brain Appeal has funded a wide range of projects. We started by funding the UK's first dementia research centre and then progressed into funding support for people with rarer dementias. Over the years, this has developed into the Rare Dementia Support Service, and now we're looking at establishing the world's in fact, first Rare Dementia Support Centre. We're so excited about the Rare Space Garden at Chelsea. We think it's going to make an enormous difference to people's awareness of rare dementias and also about the National Brain Appeal and our other work.
The inspiration for the garden primarily came from people living with a visual dementia and how that could translate into a sort of physical design brief at Chelsea. Contrast and simplicity being perhaps the kind of ultimate goals. What we wanted to do was have something simple that was easy to navigate through, but that also maintained a bit of a sense of a journey. The key features in the garden that will help people with PCA in particular are this very simple sort of single route concrete path.
That's quite nice for me because that's a sort of thing where you can follow where that path is going. I think with PCA, if you haven't got a path, that you can be a bit lost in it.
We've got these 3 bright blue benches and they will act as a kind of visual guide. They're very simple, they haven't got arms, they haven't got backs, because having a complicated physical structure actually makes it less accessible, so really simplifying a bench to what it can be, which is just a surface to sit on. And then there are these shelters over each of them. They have a similar kind of verdigris texture, but then on the edge of each one is a kind of bright primary colour. So the overall visual language of the garden is consistent. So you know, concrete path, walk, bright blue bench, sit, and then sort of verdigris structure is your kind of wayfinder to find the seats within the garden. But then this little strip of bright colour will help someone identify each individual place.
When my mum was first diagnosed with PCA, it was a bit confusing because obviously, like many people, I didn't know what that was. It's a very rare form of dementia. Everything has to be very clear and stand out and contrast in terms of colour. Some adaptations you made in the home is sticky labels on things. So colours for light switches or painting light switches, so you have a direct contrast. Things on the oven, so you say what's on and what's off. Yeah, it's just small things like that.
When you're dealing with a group of people where their needs and their abilities can be so varied, you need a design that's simple and which is flexible. And I think that's one of the great beauties of gardens and gardening. There are so many opportunities that can mean that we can really tailor a garden experience, whether that's proactively gardening or just being with others in a garden space, to the needs and desires of people living with those different conditions.
The design of the garden was a real collaborative experience, and this is something that we're really keen of at Rare Dementia Support, of getting our members involved. So we have different support groups for each of the rare dementias that we support. They always have something in common, so it's really good to bring them together so they can meet others, feel less isolated, and just be together in a room. It makes their lives so much better, feeling that there's other people going through the same things for them.
Because it's so rare, it's not something that you very easily find other people with experience of. So we were very reliant on talking to the people in the support team. But then also not long after that, we actually met somebody not far from us at home who has PCA. And that was really transformative because it felt like there was, you know, we weren't on our own, if you like.
And I do enjoy it. It's good fun and it's a nice association, and to know that other people are like me. I think it was just me, but it wasn't, and that's a good thing.
1 in 6 people will end up with a neurological condition at some point in their lifetime, and so the work they do is just incredibly important to support. Second to that is that the garden's being relocated to the world's first Rare Dementia Support Centre.
It's going to be a real integral part of our support when we have people come to the centre to visit us, to be able to go into the garden, to do activities in the garden. People will be able to work in the garden as well, but it'd be a lovely tranquil space. And I think what's really important for our members, especially the ones that were really involved in the design of the garden, is that bit of achievement, that they've had a really little bit of a part of this, which has had a huge impact.